Hello everyone, TimeToGrind here, and today I wanted to talk about something that I have been noticing kind of happen more and more frequently. So, I've been looking for things to make a video on, and it's kind of been a slower, time for gaming news, and I've been browsing tons of different gaming subreddits and gaming news sites and, journals and stuff like that just to try to find something that I wanted to talk about on this channel. And one thing that I just kept noticing more and more and more is it seems like there are so many people obsessed with watching player counts of games either decrease and then just constantly spam that a game is dying, or say, oh, this game doesn't have as many Twitch viewers as it used to, this game is dying, and just kind of overly being over apocalyptic about games and their communities. And overall, looking at player counts isn't really a problem. I constantly look at Steam charts, and it's really interesting, especially if you're, say, buying a new multiplayer game and you want to say, okay, well, this is a multiplayer only game, does it have players? There's a lot of VR multiplayer games that I wanted to buy, they looked interesting, and then I looked on Steam charts and there were 2 people playing it at any given moment and there were no bots, and it kind of makes it quite obvious that I shouldn't buy the game. So having information like this is very, very useful and just very interesting in general, but because of that, a lot of people just over obsess about it a little bit too much, and just anytime they see any slip in a player count or anything, they just constantly go everywhere they can and just talk about how a game is dying. And one of the articles I saw that a lot of people kept linking to in Reddit and claiming that it was the reason Dota 2 was dead was a game article on dotesports.com or .esports.com, and it was just talking about how Dota 2 has hit its lowest player count since January 2014. And you look at that headline and you're like, oh dang, is Dota 2 doing okay? If it's been hitting the lowest player count it ever has had since 2014, like, that seems a little bad. And then you go look at Dota 2 and there's a 24-hour peak of 534,225 people playing as of recording this video. This is a game that is nowhere close to dying at all. I mean, it's constantly in the top 3 games of Steam just in general, and there's no way it's dying anytime soon. But the way people are talking about Dota 2 on the Reddit and just in articles, it makes it sound like it is this dying game that's just grasping for breath, and there's nothing it can do to recover. On top of that, in the same day that that post went viral on Reddit, there was another post just talking about half a year after its release, daily peaks for Dota Underlords have fallen by 90%, and the average player base has fallen by over 80%. And you look at that and you're like, oh geez, like, that's painful. Is that game dying? And then you look at Dota Underlords and it has a 24-hour peak of 13,000 players, and obviously that is nowhere close to the all-time peak of 202,000, which was right when the game came out. But no game, I'm not trying to sit here defending every little thing that the devs for Dota Underlords have done, and that's not really what this video is about. But Dota Underlords is far from dead. It might be slowly declining, but it's kind of been steady around 10 to 13,000, which is that what Valve was hoping for? No, they were hoping for another slam dunk like Dota or CSGO, but the game is not dying and it's nowhere close to dead. And if you looked at Reddit, they would make you think otherwise. And I'm not saying that this game isn't going to die. I'm not saying that this game is flourishing right now. I just don't see why people, especially people, like if the, Dota Underlords subreddit, you was like posting this and was like, hey, what do you guys think about the player count dropping? That would be one thing. But just to have these random people just constantly analyze, Steam player charts and just constantly find one that doesn't look like it's doing too well and then just post about it as if the game is dying, it's kind of annoying. And then you have people that post things like, this was a comment I read that kind of like, annoyed me a little bit, and it was just saying, Valve is working on Half-Life Alyx, Artifact is dead, Underlords is dead, CSGO will continue to be popular because of its Counter-Strike, VR is the future and Valve's money is on it. And them talking about how a lot of Valve is working on Half-Life Alyx, that's true. I mean, Valve has even said that they are heavily invested in VR. They've been working on VR, hardware. I'm not really arguing about that, but it's just this sentiment of people just talking about how, these games are dying or they're already dead, and there's just this huge obsession of games dying. I mean, then you have articles like Destiny 2's Google Stadia population has dropped by more than half since launch. And, you know, that is kind of commentating more on the Google Stadia rather than the game itself. But it's still just like, that seems to be what half of game journalism is now. Either analyzing the player counts and just constantly saying if games are dying or dead, or analyzing Twitch viewer counts and being like, oh, this one game has a higher viewer count than this, it's going to dominate that game. But overall, as long as the game still has enough players to keep matchmaking pretty solid, I mean, the game's not dead. As long as someone keeps developing a game, you know, as long as Valve keeps updating Dota Underlords and there's still enough players for matchmaking to kind of match you around people your similar skill, the game is not dead. Now, is it doing as well as they want to? No, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that. I'm not trying to be a super fanboy or anything, but the game is not dead. And overall, I think people just obsess about these player counts way too much than is healthy. And you know, there's not too much to talk about this besides, you know, just play the games that you want to enjoy, and as long as you can still keep playing them and the devs keep, you know, putting updates in the game that are keeping you interested, that's all that really matters. If not, go move to another game and just don't look back. You know, you don't have to, you know, stop playing Dota 2 so then every time, you know, every day you look at the Dota 2 Steam charts and you're, you know, hoping that it's doing bad because you don't play it anymore and you want to spite this game you used to play. It's like, that's such a waste of effort. Just go play some other good video games that you want to play. So, you know, moral of the story, if you are one of the people that obsess about games dying and are dead, you know, I'm not going to say that you're an evil person. I just think that you probably should focus, you know, your passion in, you know, even video games. Just go play a video game and put that passion in somewhere else rather than just analyzing if games are dying or not and being all doomsayery, because it starts to get annoying after a while. But either way, this was kind of a rant video. We've been a little slower on gaming news. In general, there's, you know, a couple things, but I couldn't really find something I really wanted to talk about, and this was something that just I kind of noticed as I was looking for things to talk about. And, you know, I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. If you guys have experienced this at all, or maybe you're one of the people that actually find it interesting and, you know, looking at the player counts dip and stuff like that, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I love talking to you guys. Sometimes you guys bring up points that I didn't even think about before. But either way, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content, new gaming, you know, controversy, you know, gaming news, gaming reviews. About 2 videos a week come out. And if you guys are having a great day today, I hope you continue having a great day. If you guys aren't having a great day, I hope you guys start having a great day. But either way, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. See you guys next time.